Do you want to feel like you have actual magical powers? And do you want to know if laced up is actually practical and can you actually go out and perform it for real people? Then you're in luck, because I'm going to tell you all those things and a whole lot more. So stay tuned and stick around until the end of this review so that way you don't miss a thing and you figure out if laced up is for you. And I'm also going to be showing a video of me performing this live, so stick around so that way you don't miss it. And just so you know, I bought Laced Up with my own money, so this is a completely unbiased review. What is Laced Up by Donnovan Mount? Laced Up is an effect where you take a borrowed ring from a spectator, it could be a key ring, a finger ring, any type of ring, and then you proceed to link it onto the bottom ring of your shoelaces. You then pluck the bow at the top of your shoes off and you move it down to the bottom rung of your laces. You then untie your shoes and pull off the spectator's ring, and then you tie the laces back up and you move the bow back to the top on your command. You could then instantly repeat it or move on to the next table or group of people and perform it immediately. If you purchase this, you'll be receiving the Laced Up gimmicks along with a tutorial video from Donnovan Mount shot in P3 Studios where he walks you through how to perform the effect, how to set up your shoelaces, and anything else that you need to cover in order to perform this effect in about 30 minutes. The gimmicks that you receive are black, so you do need to use this with shoes that will look alright with black laces. The gimmicks that you receive come in this nice packaging that has a magnetic lid, so that way they don't fall out in the transit process, and you can store your original laces from your original shoes if you would like to in this and keep them in there as well. That's completely up to you though. Or you can just put them in another pair of shoes or use them as a spare. The laces that you receive, one pair is gimmicked and one pair is not, so that way you do have identical laces to put into both shoes, so that way you're not walking around with two different types of laces. They are the same type of laces, just one is gimmicked and one is not. I'm sure you're wondering how difficult this is to perform, and it's not that difficult to do. It will take some practice, but it's pretty easy overall, and it's just more so going to take the time of actually going through and learning it and practicing it over and over again to get it down. But the actual action and the moves you have to do aren't difficult to do at all. They just take some time to get down, and you want to make sure that you're comfortable doing them so that way you can do them in real time and not have to slow down or, just keep moving at the same pace. And don't slow the trick down because you're trying to figure out, oh my gosh, what am I supposed to do again? Or you're taking too long to tie your laces up or whatever. You want to make sure you have this practice. The performance video that you're going to see is me performing it with about an hour to an hour and a half's worth of practice. That was once I got my shoes laced up with the laced up gimmicks, and then I actually went and practiced it. So about an hour to hour and a half worth of practice that you're going to see in the video. With that said, I didn't script anything out for that video, so I don't have my pad or presentation down really, but I did want to get a performance video for you guys, so that's why it looks like it does. The angles for laced up really don't exist. You're going to be able to do this angle proof pretty much in any situation. The way that you can cover your angles is just by your hands. When you go down to do whatever you need to do, your hands can kind of cover what they need to cover. So if you have people surrounding you on all sides, you should be able to, with enough practice, cover up what you need to and not need to worry about your angles as long as you know what you need to cover, which means don't let angle restrictions scare you because there aren't really any. The setup and reset for laced up don't really exist once you've done the initial setup. There's not like something you have to set up every single time. Once you set it up once, you're good to go forever because the routine actually instant resets for you, which is pretty incredible, and I love that about it. The initial setup though of just lacing up your shoes initially for the first time is probably going to take you about 30 minutes. That's how long it took me, just because you have to keep readjusting some things to make sure that it's perfectly fit for your shoe and your foot size. So if you do have it or if you're planning on getting it, you'll know what I mean. That initial setup though is not hard to do. It just takes a little bit of time because you want to make sure you get it right so that way you don't have to worry about it and fumble around with it during performance. Is laced up examinable? No. The gimmick shoelaces that you have cannot be examined, but if you're curious what they look like, I will show you. This is what my laced up shoes look like. I'm not going to tell you which one has the gimmick on it, but I will show you that these are the shoes that I use and that you see in the live performance. Yeah, you can pretty much stare at these things in most lighting conditions and there won't really be any issue, but I will say that if you're going to be performing this, you probably want to do it towards the end just to alleviate the chances of them even seeing anything, because if you perform it at the end, then they have less time to actually look at your shoes or stare at your feet for the rest of the show or whatnot. But if they stare at it for a while, they shouldn't see anything, especially if you're just in normal lighting conditions. Now, if you've got a spotlight shining on your shoe and that's the only thing that's lit, then yeah, they might be able to tell something. But me actually lacing these black shoelaces up with a black shoe on the backside, so that way the laces are black, but also the shoe itself has actually helped hide the gimmick as well. So I think that's helped. I've also heard people say that they actually wanted to lace it up with lighter color shoes to kind of show more of a contrast between the laces and the shoe, so that way when the ring goes on there, you can like visibly tell it really is like hooked on the lace. I don't know. Personally, I wanted to do it in black shoes to even hide the method more, but that's just me. I guess you could use light colored shoes if you want to get a contrast. I just really wanted to make sure that my spectators couldn't see really no matter what lighting conditions I'm in. And these black shoes really help with that. And I haven't had any issues with people not being able to see what I put on there. Just make sure that whatever you're putting on there is not the same color as your shoes or your laces. So, like, don't use black. I mean, if you're using a black ring, it might be hard to see. So use gold or silver if these are the color of your shoes. And just with the laces, it just looks better. As I mentioned, I did get a live performance video of me performing this. So here's that video right now. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the performance. Do you have something that I could borrow, like on you? Can I use that ring? Either one. Either one. Whichever one you feel more comfortable with.
Get this one off if I can.
Whichever one you can get off. If you can get one of them off. Okay, perfect, perfect. So this is your ring. This look like the ring that she wears all the time?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, perfect. I just want to make sure that this is a completely normal ring. Now watch this. I'm not going to do anything funny. I'm not going to do anything crazy except, well, I'm going to do something a little crazy. You'll see it in 1 second. So watch. Take the ring. Watch the shoe. Watch 1, 2. Just like that. If you look, the ring is on the shoelace. You can do you see that?
Yeah.
Oh man.
And then, well, obviously I gotta get it off because I don't want you to just leave and then I'm like, I got your ring for the rest of the night. So, I gotta untie it. Well, you'll stay here. I don't want to untie it like you probably think I'm going to though.
Okay.
What I'd rather do is like pluck the laces off. So instead I do that, and then I come over, and usually this is where people start saying, well, how are you going to get the ring off? And then I have to show them that I'm going to get your ring off. It's okay, just give me 1 second, because I kind of have to do like just a little thing like that. I have to untie it, and as soon as I untie it, your ring
Oh my gosh.
can come all the way
I
off.
don't know.
How in the world do you do that, honey? That's amazing.
Well, thanks. Well, obviously though, now I got broken shoelaces and broken shoes because now my laces are at the bottom. So obviously, because I'm sure I'm going to do that trick again sometime, so I want to make sure I do. So I'm going to pluck the laces back off, and I'm just going to go ahead and take them and put them back to the top, and then I'll be ready to go all over again.
No way.
So yeah.
You're unbelievable, honey.
Well, thanks.
That's great.
Are there any negatives about laced up? The one negative that you could say this has is that the shoelaces aren't examinable. But who really wants to examine your shoes? So if you can just make sure that you structure your routine properly, and if you make sure you manage your audience correctly, like don't let them go down and mess with your shoelaces. Like what the heck? No, that's really the only drawback to this routine is that the laces aren't examinable. But that's really the only thing about it because I love everything else about it. One thing I will mention in this section, and it's not a negative, but I just want to throw it in here because it's something that you need to pay attention to and just be aware of before you purchase it. Or maybe you've already purchased it and you're like, man, I'm having this trouble. There is going to take a little bit of practice to make sure your knot looks good every time. Like the bow on your shoe, you want to make sure that when you're tying your laces, you practice actually tying your laces because the more you practice it, the better your bow's going to look and the more it's going to stay together and the more you don't have to worry about anything, happening when you're walking around. Just take your time with it, and then once you get it down, you're good to go once you know how to do it and you've put time into it, and then you don't have to worry about it. So just be willing to put a little bit of time into it, and then you'll be able to go out and perform and blow minds. The positives for laced up are absolutely immense. They're incredible. There's so many of them. 1, it's very practical. It's so much more practical than I thought it was going to be. 2, it is very fooling, even as someone who knows how it works. When I'm performing it, I kind of fool myself in the process. Like whenever I untie the shoelace and I literally separate the laces and pull the ring off, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, this looks so good, and I can't believe that I'm the one that's doing this. Like, it looks so good. Another positive about laced up is that you can actually combine a second pair of laced up gimmicks and make this crazy, unreal routine that honestly is just so mind-boggling. Because imagine if you had laced up gimmicks in each shoe, and you were plucking the bow off of one shoe and putting it on another and untying it and then putting the one on your left shoe back on your right and then swapping them again, or there's so many crazy combinations you could do if you have 2 gimmicks. So I've actually ordered a second copy of Laced Up and it's in the mail right now and I'm super excited for it. And I actually was thinking about waiting to film this review until I got my second copy, but I figured I might as well just go ahead and do it because you see the performance, you know what it is if you have 1 pair of laced up gimmicks, and that's probably what most people are going to have, but I absolutely think the price is justified for 1, and you can clearly tell I thought it was justified to buy 2 because of the crazy things you can do with it, so I am very excited for that. One thing I really love about Laced Up is that this brings a whole new meaning to the word everyday carry because it's now in your shoes, and you're wearing it, and you just gotta be asked to do a magic trick, or even somehow get your spectators to ask you to do a magic trick, and you have your shoes. All you need are your shoes, and you can do this. Like, this is so cool. This just looks like something that is supposed to be on David Blaine's next TV special or Dynamo's TV special. Like, this just looks like TV magic, but it's so practical, and it just looks so good in real life that it just makes me so excited, because I felt like I was on a TV show when I was performing it. I was like, oh man, like, this is good enough to make TV. Like, it's so good, and it looks so good in person. Like, it's genuinely, it's in the running for trick of the year. I mean, it's honestly in the running for top 25 tricks ever. With all this stuff that I've said so far throughout this review, I feel like you can tell that I feel like the $60 price tag is justified. I absolutely believe that it is, because if you get this, you're going to use it, you're going to go out and perform with it as much as you wear your shoes and you do magic in your shoes. I mean, this is just awesome. I know some people have been asking, will this work with every type of shoe? And it will work with most shoes. It would work with pretty much all shoes that I had in my collection. I specifically chose these, like I mentioned, because they do have the black background, and I wanted to just have a pair that I could throw these into and just wear whenever I want to and be ready to go out and do a magic trick. I also wear Adidas pants a lot, so it really matches with my pants, and so I was like, why not? These are the perfect shoes to put these laces in. But yes, it will work with most tennis shoes, like running shoes, stuff like that, as long as you have basic shoe properties. For the most part, some may differ just a little bit, but for the most part, this will work with most tennis shoes or running shoes or skater shoes or whatnot. It's gonna work most likely. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it, and if you feel that Laced Up is for you, the link to purchase it is in the description down below. I hope that you really... Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for watching this review of Laced Up. I really do appreciate it. And if you feel that Laced Up is for you, the link to purchase it is in the description down below. Once again, I really do appreciate you watching all the way to the end. Thanks so much. It really does mean the world. I hope this review was helpful for you. So if you think it was, or if you think Laced Up's for you, feel free to purchase it. Doesn't matter to me. I really like it. I hope that if you do get it, you really like it. Like I said, completely unbiased. I bought this product with my own money. But with all that said, this is the video that I think you should watch next. So take care, and until next time, I'll see you later. See ya. Shut up, birds.